birthday. Julie N, Steffi Quinlan, Patricia Brackenridge, User One, Steph Schultz, Bev Hartnell, Ruth Blandford. Oh, just gone down there. And are we live? I think we're live. Happy birthday, Debbie, Sky Lee, so sorry. What's happened? Sky. Oh, Sky, yes, I know. Sorry, sweetheart. Sending all our prayers and all our love to Sky. Bless you. We have got Vlogmas. To watch. Keep missing loads of lives, says Heather Cromack. Live, not life. Marky and this truly odd. Elaine Upright. Hello. Tina Davis. Katie Travers. Sharon Pritchard. Yeah, everyone send hugs to Sky. And what's that, Kerry? What's happened there, Kerry? They go up so fast, we miss some of your things. Well done, Ashley, your legs are hurting. Kerry, I'm going all the way to the top, can't see what's happened for Kerry. So how are we all? Apart from, obviously, you know, Sky and others who have perhaps had a really bad week. Helen Groves, I've received my card today, thank you so much, that's a pleasure. Hi Claire Smiley, hello. Hi Julie Eaton, I'm very good, thank you Creatorholic. I think I'm okay, yeah, no, I'm good. It's, you know, much better than, I prefer these glasses, I'm in the minority, says Devon B. I don't know, I prefer the fact that you can't see a rim at the bottom. So you get to see more face. Hi Jenny Scam. So it's been a curious day, hasn't it? I was head down and for a good 6 hours in therapy essentially today, and came out, and there's all this fuss and all this talk of blackmail. So not only do we now have party denial and the Sue Gray report that's going to come out any minute now, but we've now got the accusation that government whips, if you don't know what a government whip is, that's a member of the government who's very harsh and ensures that all the MPs of a given party toe the party line, that's where the phrase comes from, and vote in the right direction. But what's less often talked about is what they call the dark arts of the whip, which is they essentially threaten politicians. And this is the bit that's a bit disingenuous, because if you read all the press, Boris Johnson saying there's no evidence of blackmail. The Minister for Northern Ireland was on the radio saying there's no evidence of blackmail. Well, of course there isn't going to be evidence of blackmail, because the people doing the blackmailing aren't stupid, are they? They're not stupid. It's like when people say there's no evidence of a cover-up. Well, maybe that's because the cover-up was successful. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of contradictory. So just because there's no evidence, in a weird way, you could argue that it's even more suspicious that there is no evidence of it ever happening, ever. So what's obviously happened here is that some of the MPs that were opposing or agitating or pushing back against Boris and the whole Partygate and all that kind of stuff, some of the governmental whips have verbally gone and threatened various MPs. Now, of course, the MP that defected to, is it Andrew Wakefield, who defected to Labour, he's been on the record talking about the fact that funding for a school in his constituency, they threatened to remove the funding for that school if he didn't vote accordingly. And so, but of course, the Tories are now rubbishing what he's saying because he's gone over to the other side, so how could you ever trust someone who does that? And then you have another politician called Mr. Ragg, I forget what his first name is, something Ragg. He's also accused the government of blackmail. Now, of course, everyone in the cabinet, Boris, all of them are saying, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Well, unfortunately, it's probably going to have been done cleverly, and there is going to be no evidence, and then they're going to be able to claim purity and immunity. But this makes me really cross, because I just think this government more and more are demonstrating how we don't live in anything vaguely approaching a democracy. It's an absolute effing outrage. It's an outrage. And you know, all they do is they go on television, they go on the radio, and they just filibuster and lie. It's just outrageous. Nadia is entertaining her mum and dad downstairs. So Yeah, so I said I'd pop upstairs and I'd touch base with you guys. I've left dinner to come and be with you because I didn't want you to go without. Salsa Trish, I'm so confused by it all, Mark. If you watch old reruns from Yes Prime Minister and Blackadder, it's shockingly accurate. It's quite something, isn't it? So what we need now, what we really need, what I really, really want, what I really, really, really want, is someone to have telephone recorded one of the whips or one of the government ministers, excuse me, putting pressure on these backbenchers. So basically what's happening is here is Big Boy Boris, or Big Bad Dog, is essentially bullying all of his politicians into line. At what point does that fall into despot? I read Animal Farm by George Orwell a few days ago, says Amy May, and it's comical how similar it is to this government. Isn't it just? Isn't it just? Hi, Jackie Vellino. What the hell has happened to our country, Gabrielle? And what's happening is, I think that the government and all of the kind of lackeys therein in the cabinet so believe the nonsense that they're trotting out, so don't realise that it's gaslighting stuff. It's their reality. I don't even think any of them think that they're lying. I just think they are so removed from reality. Sean Thomas, why isn't Keir Starmer calling a no confidence vote? I don't know. It might be that he knows it might distract, and actually all the Tory MPs might sort of swirl round Boris and protect him. It's a little bit like the guy who defected yesterday. By all accounts, had a negative effect on the resistors within the Tory party. You know, they softened in their stance. So maybe there's some kind of game of chess going on there. I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, and I keep wondering why don't they? But Boris Johnson says he's seen no evidence of blackmail in his party after claims by William Ragg, who said that suspected plotters have been threatened with bad publicity. Has anyone else heard is it the pork pie putsch? A putsch being a sort of attempt to bring down a government or bring down a leader. The pork pie putsch, because Malton Maybury is where one of the politicians is from. Mr. Johnson told reporters, I've seen no evidence, but asked if he would look into reports. He replied, of course. Well, I wonder if he's going to instruct another review by someone he knows. Who thinks that Sue Gray's report is going to be honest? Who thinks it's going to be worth the paper it's written on? Do you think that the Sue Gray report is going to be trustworthy? Can we believe it? Will we be able to believe it? Yes or no? A lot of questions there, but they're all on the same side of yes or no. Melton Mowbray, thank you. No, not a chance. See, no one's got any... Look, vast, absolutely not. No, not me, not a chance. No, I don't. No. Look, can't believe anything. Absolutely none of you believe what the report reports is going to be true. So what is the fucking point of the report? So if you're feeling that, the nation is going to feel that, aren't they? I swear they're just hoping to get enough distance between this whole crisis and the parties so that people just get bored. They're just hoping that boredom sets in and we're willing to kind of cut them some slack. Sue Gray, she's a Tory. Sue Gray, she was employed by Boris. Look, delay tactics. Do you, Mark? I don't think it's going to be worth the paper it's written on. No, I don't. What I do think they're going to do, I think it's going to be overly critical of Boris, but not in a way that compromises his position. So it's going to go as close to the wire in criticising him, but it's going to hold itself back over the line from being able to say that he should quit. I think that's obviously what it's going to do. And he's going to sort of go, well, I'm sorry, terrible lapse of judgment, walking into a garden, lots of people there, not a party, work bottles of wine, dancing girls, no, didn't know it was a party, so left. Point I knew it was a party, I left. So if he left after 25 minutes and thought it was a party then, why did he let the party carry on? So I think the report And trust me, this is what's going to happen. The report is going to take it right to the edge of naughtiness, but not illegality and not in breach of ministerial code, though it's not looking into that. And I think Boris will be able to apologise even more. I'm sorry, I recognise the fury in the nation, but as the Sue Gray report says, it was a lapse of judgment, and I apologise for the lapse of judgment, and I'll apologise again. And that's all it's going to do. It's going to take it to the very edge of what he was allowed to do so that he can stay in power. Who thinks that's what's going to happen? I tell you what, it's so fucking obvious. It makes me just want to run around Parliament Square and put bogies on all the statues. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous that they think we will think anything else. It's ludicrous that they think I mean, what would be a genuine surprise is if the report comes in and says Boris needs to go. Then I'd be I will eat my... If that happens, I will get Nadia to cook one of my hats, baseball caps, and I'll eat it. Total stitch up. They would not be saying with such confidence, wait until the Sue Gray report, if they didn't know that already that the Sue Gray report was going to be fine. Ashley, I'll do it. I'll film it as well. Reese, it goes to show how we're living in a mix of a simulation and satire, whereby we feel like we're in a glitch of unbelievable events and behaviour, to which is so shocking it ends up being hysterical. Couldn't have summed it up better myself. Yeah. We shouldn't be used to the government lying to us because it shouldn't be even happening, but the government don't know what they're doing. Yet the government doesn't think they're lying. That's the dangerous age we live in. I don't think the government thinks I think the government... Is there anyone in the government advising any of them what is really being felt out here in the sort of populace? Sam JP, love that a woman asked him if he was really going to try and convince everyone he was stupid rather than admit his wrongdoing to the public. Yeah, that's a good point. When the person being questioned commissions the investigation, how can it really find the truth? Devon B, same, yeah, absolutely. Nikki, same excuses he gave his exes. It's no accident. No, he didn't know, just pathological lying at this point. I don't think Boris thinks he lies. I don't think Boris lies. I think he thinks he's telling the truth. And that is problematic. That is problematic. Teflon. He is Teflon. Nothing sticks. It's like Trump. It's like the more Trump did wrong, the more he survived it. It's really weird, isn't it? It's a really weird concept. I don't get it. He thinks it doesn't apply to him, MeTube. Oh, what's that? Shame there's no cabinet for stupid. Ooh, sorry. God forbid anything takes a turn for the worse with COVID, and Boris still in charge. No one will listen to anything he has to say anymore. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are doomed if a bad variant comes again, because it's just not going to happen. No, I don't think they do teach lying at Eton, Elizabeth Gordon. I think they teach exceptionalism, and so they just feel... I just think they feel a sense of such entitlement and such a sort of jaundiced idea of what reality is that I don't think they are actually lying. Reese Roberts, Boris and Trump share solipsism in common, whereby they are the centre of their worlds, independently void of the worldly issues and concerns. Megalomania. They're megalomaniacs. They're in their own little strange bubbles. Very strange. So that was the big story. As I came out of therapy, I thought, oh, right, okay, so we've got blackmail now to add to the party thing. Okay, who thinks Boris will be gone by the end of this week or the end of this month? Okay, the end of this month. Who thinks Boris will be gone by the end of this month? Yes or no? Hi, Jacqueline Frost. Keely Windle, they learn how to bumble their way out of everything. Yeah, it's an art form. No one believes he's going to be out. Isn't it weird? I mean, no. And the terrible thing is, there's a yes there. It's Claire Ross Reed. I think if we all believe he won't, it almost makes it happen. Do you know what I mean? Unless we all believed he could be. And there was a moment, wasn't there, at the beginning of yesterday or the day before, where we all thought he might. And there felt like there was a critical wave. And then obviously he blackmailed everyone. I'm leaning toward he will be gone by the end of the year. No, because there's a pack of lying bastards, says Ali P. There's not an alternative. Well, I don't know. I mean, would we settle for... Who would we like instead? Rishi? Would you like Rishi on a dishy? Or would you like Sajiv? I'm trying to think who else there is. Imagine Matt Hancock coming back in. If only there was someone. Sajiv. Yeah, me too. I kind of agree. Andy Burnham, Laura S, but he's on the opposite camp and he's in Manchester. Van Tam, Sajid. Evening, everyone. Hi, Anita O'Reilly. No Conservative. If he gets through the Grey report, he could shove until the May elections. I still say that he is Labour's biggest electoral asset, and they will be in a quandary as to what to do. Oh right, I see. You think that the longer he stays in, the more he sort of serves the Labour Party, whereas if he's removed and someone who's very even-keeled and very sort of together. So in a sense, his awfulness and his catastrophic clumsiness in everything makes him a great sort of, I don't know, tool, if you like, in the Labour Party's kit bag for success at the next election. Just let him keep tripping over and making things wrong. I kind of get you. Yeah, you know, give him enough rope and he'll hang you, that sort of thing. Mark, what's behind you? Oh, God. I thought it was Nads. He's definitely a tool, yeah. Raving Loony Party. Oh, sorry, that's Boris. Theresa May rise from the ashes, says Sophie R. Who'd have thunk it, hey? Who'd have thunk that Theresa May seems like an incredibly rational, emotional, a great dancer. You know, she's just, everything about her just is charm personified. Nanny Di for PM, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. What qualities do they need? Liar, no. Empathy, selfish. Yeah, exactly. All this Tory bollocks is making January so much harder to stomach. As I said before, who said that? Yeah, Emma Carter. Hi, Emma. Everything we've gone through, every convulsion we've gone through in the last 2 years has essentially been, even how we've dealt with COVID, has essentially been about managing the Conservative Party. Lynn Sheard, Toffee would make a good replacement. Yeah, I kind of agree. And then meanwhile, across the Atlantic, did anyone else hear about Biden's gaffe? Has anyone heard about Biden's massive foot in mouth? Did anyone hear about that? What do you reckon, guys? They're all as bad as one another. Yeah, so we've got the Ukraine crisis developing, haven't we? And just to make matters a little bit worse, Biden says, essentially, he basically said that as long as it was only a minor incursion, there wouldn't be massive consequences for Russia. And that's been read. So at the White House, they've been frantically trying to reframe his comments that essentially said that if the Russians did a sort of small invasion or a slight invasion or just a sort of small incursion, that wouldn't require any response from anyone in the world. Which, of course, to everyone in Ukraine is like, so there's an all right way to invade and there's a wrong way to invade. I mean, it's unbelievable. So everyone in the White House is having to sort of, you know, pedal backwards. I think they wheeled him out again, Biden, and he said, oh my God, yeah, it did sound like that, didn't it? And then tried to backpedal. And of course the Ukrainians, people in Ukraine, saw it as them basically being hung out to dry. I mean, what kind of a message does that send Putin? It's just like, God, what a shambolic mess in the West. I mean, Putin must be going back to his, I don't know, to, you know, what does he do? He rides bears bareback, doesn't he? He just sort of, he stands fishing. He fishes with a bear. Doesn't he wrestle with a bear? He does something with a bear. So he must be there with his bear, just going, oh, Jesus Christ, these Americans and these British, they have parties. They say they're not at parties. They say gibberish, and they don't even know they're saying gibberish. I mean, bring back Obama, bring back Trump. I mean, that's a terrible fact of the matter. Reese, the Democratic Party poll is so low. They haven't passed the Build Back Better plan, the George Floyd Policing Act, the Voting Act, all the things they promised they would do and won't call out their own. Well, we can all see what's going to happen in America, can't we? Yeah, republicanism could be coming back, and who knows, maybe Trump could come back. Who thinks Trump will be back in the White House? Yes or no? Who thinks Trump could be back in the White House? Let's not forget, Trump had a bit of, history with Putin. Putin had a bit of history with Trump. I do, yes, yes, yes. I hope not. I bloody hope not. Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah, there's a few yeses. I think it's possible. It's possible even without Twitter. He doesn't need Twitter, I don't think. Anne Henderson, hi Mark, I agree with Nadia on loose women today. Johnson is dangerous. Medics and teachers say it's too soon to drop mandatory masks. Most countries wisely retain masks. Johnson is a proven liar. I mean, this goes back to the Operation Red Meat. Trump will be back, Nora Doyle. Yeah, it does feel strangely and awfully coincidental that suddenly all these rules can be lifted. And have you noticed this? When all the rules were coming in, they'd be announced on a Monday and they had to happen on a Friday. But as soon as the government desperately needs cloud cover, they decide them on the day and they happen the next morning. So there is scope to do stuff quickly. There is scope to enact change quickly. Perfect distraction, says Run and Shoot. Absolutely, absolutely. Perfect distraction. So the Biden thing is a worry. I think there's the worry of the Ukraine and what that could spill into in Europe, and there's also the added detail that, okay, Britain have sent missiles, which the Russians are already seeing as an aggravating aspect. The Russians don't have much don't have much favour for us, do they? They're not a particular fan of us. So Putin will be sitting on a small mountain with his bear, eating caviar, thinking, this is so easy. I just have to put 100,000 troops on a border and the entire West falls apart. Happy birthday, Mum of Girls. I would sing, but I can't. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mum of Girls. Happy birthday to you. Final little story. Tracy Emin has requested that Number 10 take down her neon artwork. I think she donated it when David Cameron was in power. Suddenly David Cameron seems attractive alongside Trump. I mean, I can't believe that. Tracy Emin asking for her artwork to be removed. She herself was an outspoken conservative, actually, at one point. So that's curious. But yeah, so there you go. I just wanted to come upstairs, hang out with my buddies, and chew the cud with you. So I hope you all have a lovely evening. Any recommendation? What's that? Sophie Jamer. Any recommendations? Emotional, heartfelt, and sweet movie I could watch tonight, or something psychologically grueling. My God, they're two opposite things, aren't they? Any recommendations? An emotional, heartfelt, sweet movie I could watch tonight, or something psychologically grueling, but not the news. I'll have a think, Sophie J. Matilda, and maybe post something on my Insta stories. I'll have a think. Guys, have a lovely evening. Our new Confessions of a Modern Parent will be up in the morning. There'll be an early coffee moaning tomorrow. And there'll be a members live coming for everyone in the family guest area at some point. Obviously, we're frantically editing the Sunday show for Sunday, but not to work on Sunday, if you know what I mean. And we will be reviewing some of Ozark. It's released tomorrow. Can't wait. If you haven't checked out our review of Euphoria, head over there. That's up too. And there will be another Cotswolds vlog landing very soon. I've been editing parts of that. It's very, very funny. Stay safe. Have a lovely evening, guys. And we will see you on the morrow. Lots of love. Bye.